Modern day BMWs usually do have comfort access already on them, but some of them don't have it. For example, my 2015 F80 M3 is a base model, and this thing has no packages at all. I have no parking sensors, I have no HUD, I didn't even have a backup camera, and most importantly, I do not have comfort access. What that means is that when I walk up to the handle and I try to just open it like that, it doesn't work. I have to pull my key fob out every time, press unlock, and then I'll be able to get into the car. Today we got a package from our friends down at Bimmer, and we are going to retrofit comfort access into the M3. All right, here's everything unboxed. You get your paint match handles right there. I opted for the 2 front handles. This is the actual module right here. And then I also got the trim toolkit. And then here's all the wiring. This is basically going to like daisy chain up by the passenger footwell area. It looks like we also tap into a ground, and then this will go into a fuse. I believe these 2 are going to go to the door handles and then through the door harness. I was wrong. These actually plug into the harness that is right above, and then it goes into the door harness. This is the antenna. This is going to go all the way in the back bumper area. These 2 wire harnesses plug into the door handles themselves. Check this out, you guys. This is paint matched perfectly to the M3. I did put it up against the paint, and it is literally a 100% perfect match, which is insane. And also they gave me this sick keychain. Look at that. That thing is high quality. Now that we have everything unboxed, I'm going to pull the M3 back into the garage, open up the doors, and get started on this whole process. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. The guide was saying it should take about an hour each door, so we will see. First things first, we are going to disconnect the battery because we are working with some electrical stuff. So pull this thing out and then disconnect the ground right over here. Battery is disconnected. Make sure you do not shut your trunk. For extra safety measures, I like to throw a rag in here just in case. You never know if this trunk will somehow shut itself, or if somebody walks by and just boop, shuts it, then you're kind of screwed. All right, for the next step, since we already have the 10 mil out, we are going to pull off this bottom panel right here. There's 2 10 mils, one over here, one over there. Unscrew those, pull it down, and then there's also a cigarette port over there that you have to unplug as well. And then this panel should come right out. Oh, and then there's also a footwell light too. All right, we got this panel out. There was 1 10 mil right here, another one right over here. And then this is the accessory port that you need to unplug. And then the footwell light right there, make sure to unplug that as well, and then this whole thing should come out. For the next step, we are going to pull off this kick panel, side panel, whatever you call it. You just grab it, pull it up like that, and then some of these clips will stay in there, but don't be worried, they're not broken or anything. Just pull them out with a trim tool. And then as this thing goes, I think we just pull it out as well. I have pulled this out many times before, so it's pretty loose in there. There we go, that thing is out now. As you can see, another one of these clips came off of it, but just put it back in, no problem, good to go. So now we have access to the main area where we're going to be doing the wiring and whatnot. Basically, the wiring kit is going to daisy chain off of these things right in here. And in order to get more room to work in here, we are going to remove this panel right here, and then also a Torx bit that holds on this whole thing right here, so we can wiggle this around and get more room. Moving on to the door panel, we just have to pull this off right here, grab a little trim tool, pry right here, pull this up and out. There'll be 2 Torx bits in here, and that's pretty much it for the door panel. The rest of them are just trim clips all around the thing, so you just get your trim tool, put it in there, pull and tug, and then the whole door panel comes off. We have Bimmer trim toolkit, and I must say, this trim toolkit is actually very, very nice. Like, the ones that I have in my toolbox are nowhere near as nice as these are, so this will help us get that door panel off super easily. Alright, got the whole door panel removed. Kind of struggled on this window switch. You just have to pop it from the front and then pull it like forward and up like that, and then you can unplug the wiring harness. Now that we have all that situated, I'm going to take off the handle itself. There's this little grommet right here. Pull this out, and then there should be an Allen head right here, and then we'll be able to pull off this little part first. Looks like it's a 4mm Allen bolt. There we go. Got this thing out now. Wow, that was easy. All I did was pull the handle and it just popped right out. So now I guess we just slipped the new one in. All right, finally got the door handle on. So what I did was I took this pick tool, went into here. You'll see this metal clip, pry it forward, and then you'll be able to slip the handle into there. But check that out, you guys. As you can see, the paint match is like freaking dead on. I'm so stoked on that. All right, so earlier when I was going through the wiring harness, I did mention that I thought one was for like rear handles or whatnot, but I was completely wrong. The one that I thought was for the rear handles actually go for the front handles, which connect to the handles and then go into the door harness connector. You pin it into there, and then the other half gets pinned into the other side of the door connector and then into this thing. So I was wrong at first, but now it's all cleared up and now I know what I'm doing. All right, we got the door harness disconnected. You basically pull up on this plastic piece right here and then pull it off, and then you take that whole plastic thing off just by taking a pick tool, poking it into here and here, pull that piece off, which will be this thing right here, and then routed the door wire. Didn't really zip tie it or anything in the door yet, but finally got it through this. This was probably the hardest part of this whole install. Get it off of here, get it off of here, shrivel it up, pull it down towards here, and then feed the wiring through. That's how I actually got it all the way through. And yeah, now it is time to pin it into this connector right here. It doesn't really matter where you put it as long as you match up the colors with the other side. So just remember where you pin it into here and correlate it to the other side. All right, we got this thing loosened up. We pulled the door harness part out of there and tugged it through over here. Now we have to pull off this blue piece right here so we can slip pins into this thing, and we're probably going to use these open slots right up over here. Just make sure you remember the color orientation that you do and then match it to over here. All right, this side is pinned in, all good to go. I did white with the gray wire at the bottom next to the green wire, and then black, regular white, and then red on the top. So now we just have to replicate it on this side. All right, I got a little carried away, forgot to pick the camera back up, but this is all done now. This side is all ready to go. All right, this door panel is essentially done. Now we are going to move on to connecting this daisy chain harness right here. We're gonna take out this black connector right here in the middle, and then this white one down here, and then we should be able to daisy chain this stuff, and that will be set up. And then we're going to find a good ground for this thing and tap into a fuse, most likely a consistent 12-volt fuse, probably the same one that I used for my dash cam or something like that. Right up in here in the middle row right here is a bunch of fuses, so that's where we're going to put that tap in. All right, it is a crazy wiring mess in here. Just got finished up with one side. Basically, I got the box grounded. I have power tapped to the box as well. I plugged the antenna in right here just so we could test this stuff out, and check it out. Close the door right here, lock. Sick. So now I just have to finish up the other side, clean up the wiring, route the antenna to be back here and outside of the car so it gets a better signal, and then it'll be all finalized. All right, so now for the antenna, we are going to pull out the tail light, stick the antenna down in here in the bumper area, and then route the wiring all the way through here, through there, and up to there. And then that'll be the finalized part for the antenna. Should be very simple, very easy. All right, the tail light is out now. I took the antenna wiring and put it through this hole, the same hole that the tail light wiring goes through for the sequential lights up here. But now we're gonna stick some double-sided tape on the back of this, put it down here, and have it sitting something like that. All right, so in preparation to run the wire over to the other side, I pulled off this whole panel right here. And now we are going to fish this harness through the dash all the way over to the other side. All right, so the wire is fished through this part of the dash. My hands are pretty small, so I was able to just put it in there and then stick my hand in here and grab the wire and pull it through. And then we have it going behind this, going down over to here. I'm not going to plug it in yet since the other side the pins are exposed. Don't want it to like short out or anything like that. Not plugging this in yet until I finalize the other side. I'm not really going to do too much on camera for the other side since we already did everything on this side. So once I'm back, it'll probably be fully done, and I'll probably record like tucking all this stuff away, trying to fit the wires where I can. All right, y'all, check it out. Tap here, boom, car locks. This door is done now, and hold it in here, unlocks. There we go. Both sides work. Now I have to put this interior all back together. It's a big freaking mess, and I still have to tuck the box over there, hide the wiring and everything too. All right, it actually wasn't that bad to somewhat tuck all this stuff away. I put the box all the way up here. For the harness down here, all the extra wiring, just shoved it down here in this carpet, and then the other wiring up there in that corner. We're gonna see if the kick panel fits over this. Hopefully it does, and then yeah, we can tidy up everything else and we will be done. All right, check it out, y'all. Tap right here, boom, car locks. I'm gonna unlock it, hold my hand here. That is freaking awesome. So yeah, everything works just as it should. I'm so stoked on this, so happy with the results, because I did not have comfort access on this car at all, and my previous car, my S6, had comfort access, and I missed it so much. I always thought that M3s would automatically come with that, but it's crazy how my car did not come with that at all. Once again, big shout outs to Bimmer Tech. If you guys see anything that you like on their site, use code BTBF-Illest when you're at checkout. They also have many different comfort access kits for a bunch of different kind of cars, so not just for this chassis, they do it for a lot of other chassis. Just make sure to check out their website. Bimmer Tech is running a huge campaign right now, 10% off of everything, and if you spend over $1,500 you can get 15% off of your order. But yeah, once again, look at how high quality this paint matches. It's literally freaking perfect. There also is options to get rear handles, and you can also do the trunk sensor thing where like you put your foot under here and then it opens up the trunk, but I didn't opt for any of that. I just wanted the 2 front handles to be comfort access, and that's what I got, and I am still super happy with everything. But that's gonna be it for this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to check out Bimmer Tech down below in the description. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.